Okay, I tweeted it out. I'm gonna make a YouTube post as well.
Six people watching, say hi in the chat.
Are you guys just not muted us?
Hey, you can unmute yourself.
Oh.
You know what that was a little. It was a
You
lot
should've kept
of
that
memory
going.
lane. We need to get a timeline of every drawing of Rini that Jake has ever done, because as they become better,
They're just
friends-
less evil. They're like
Yeah, it's
nicer
like-
and nicer.
Yeah, he draws her like.
You need to do like a fugly witch drawing of me again.
Next
so.
Halloween, you'll be like an angel or something.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone will
yeah.
be like peasants at the feet.
Or do the ogre.
That'd be a
You
bit
could be
much.
like Fiona the ogre.
Yeah, do you want to be Fioga?
Yeah, sure. I'll be Fiona the ogre. Yogurt.
Well, I'm already Shrek, so.
What? Wow.
Yeah, you're
A
totally
little on the
totally
nose.
Shrek.
Okay. What's
That's
up,
definitely what
everybody?
Jake looks like.
Hello.
Hi!
Hello.
Wait,
We
my
missed a
camera's
week.
There. Hello.
And it was a busy week. There was a political election. And
Yeah.
We haven't streamed since then.
Political.
We took it off for solidarity. In solidarity.
Yeah. Yes.
We're not celebrating.
I'm drinking South American beer.
What's it
Yeah,
called?
I Yes.
Belated celebration. It's called Club Colombia Negra.
Rini's
You're not
back
allowed
on
to
the
say that
wagon.
word.
Yeah, you can't say
I
that.
am.
I always get it mixed up if it's on or off.
Yeah, Rena's still in the pits of hell.
I am.
I went back to her place without her.
What? Yeah, he
Yeah.
is somehow. He's in my house.
Little
That's a little
sus.
creepy, Jake.
Wait.
There's Mike
we got-
Coon. Look, it's Mike
we-
Coon.
But wait, we got Mike Coonception.
Hey, wait.
Double,
Oh, nice.
double Mike Coon.
He somehow
Oh, no.
traveled to
How did that
Britland.
happen?
Mike Coon traveled
Yeah.
to Britland in a split second.
Yeah, how did that happen? So confused. But Mike Coon has a different base now.
Oh yeah,
Very
if this
confused.
is Porto, I'm not going to say Porto Coon. That'd be pretty bad.
As you say it. Well done. Good job.
Portable. Yeah,
I hadn't heard Mike Coon in a while, and I thought it was Coon, and then I thought there was a T at the end, like Mike.
No,
Mike Coon.
it's
Mike
wee.
Coon?
Mike
Wee
Coon?
bees. It's wee bees.
Mike Hunt. How many people in this world are called Mike Hunt? Let's have a look.
How many people have?
It was the most common name in 2008.
That's sad.
No, there's
They
a
call it
prominent
the year of the
chatter. I
cunt.
think his name is Mike Hunt. Mike
We
Hunt.
must all know like a Michael Hunter. or
There's a
something.
British actor called Michael Hunt. There's Mike Hunt, the American footballer, born 1956.
That's unfortunate.
Football.
Mike
Baller.
Hunt, a baseball player. Michael John Hunt, who's apparently a painter. And then Mike Hunt, which is a gag name. I don't
Is
know
there
why.
way
any
more-
Richard Michael Hunt?
Mikael
Yeah.
Hunteres.
In America, cunt is not really a word, but in
Richard Michael
Britland
Cunt.
it is kind of. So
Would be the
Britland would
perfect-
never name their kids that, but America
Hunt?
would.
I thought you literally said cunt. You
Yeah.
guys hate the word cunt in that country. In rural Shire, it's like breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met a guy once, and we can't even say it right in America. We say cunt, like it's two
Or
syllables.
We
Cunt.
used to say me and my family we say coont as a bit.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
being such a coont.
Someone should name their child Richard Michael Hunter.
Richard cunt.
Dick.
Yeah. My buddy, when I was
My
very
cunt.
I
young,
finally got it.
my best friend, when we were children, told me that if you called a woman that a cunt, that they're legally allowed to kill you.
Good lessons to teach your
I
sons.
mean, he was right. It just hasn't happened yet.
And he was raised by women. He has his like
He
two
was
sisters
born
and
as a-
a woman.
I'm gonna go to space.
They tricked him.
Caleb Reynolds in the chat. What's up? Michael Rushbrook. Cam.
Yo.
How's it going, everyone? Thanks for being here.
Hi,
9 people
everyone.
watching. Quick reminder as we get it started, too. Jake has a live campaign for Carnal Blue Dick Axe.
The
.com.
Yeah,
barbarian.
guys. If one of the 9 of you hasn't begged, tonight's the night, because we're at 66. Thanks to a bunch of new backers that came in this week, which I'm very grateful for. A lot of them bought Irene's cover.
Thanks.
But we're at 66, so we could get to 69.
If
What
we
if
get
he
to
meets-
The
69,
epic.
Yeah. I just thought of a way to ruin your story. If you ever die, you got to let me finish it, and I'll ruin it for you. With it,
Well, we
it'll be
already
a
have that
giant.
agreement.
Yeah.
That excludes
He'll
Fiendish.
meet-
Everybody's
meet-
story is here except Fiendish. We have that agreement.
Yeah. We'll all ruin each other's stories. But to ruin Jake's, he meets a giant blue vagina, and then they like.
It would have to be
pair
no.
up.
It'd have the opposite color. It'd have to be red.
Okay, yeah, it's red, and they're like made for each other. And they're like, shit,
I
I
feel
guess
like
the
we've
story's over.
encountered that already. Tons of those on the internet.
don't spoil. Don't
Jake's
spoil
like,
it.
You know,
shit, that's
with-
my actual ending.
Yeah, with the sun, with the way the sun's been treating me, I feel like a giant red vagina. to
My
be
gosh.
honest.
Actually,
He
yeah,
def-
now that you mention
definitely
it.
really smart to say that on the internet.
Look, I have a mosquito bite on my freaking head.
Oh my god! Is
It
it,
Is that a
won't go
South
away.
American mosquito that got you?
Yeah,
So you're carrying black mosquito South American
the
DNA.
sun does
I've
not treat
bubonic
pale British
plague.
man well.
I've been collecting the full basic set of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation vaccines via mosquito. But it's
you need one of those. You need a safari hat that keeps the mosquitoes
yeah.
away, and a machete, and you need to cut through
To
the
kill the
vegetation.
mosquitoes?
a machete.
Yeah.
You mean,
Were
do you
you,
mean
were you
an
at like the
Australian
Panama
cock
Canal?
hat?
Is that where you got bit?
No, there was one moment I was in a swimming pool. The only thing above the water was my head. There was one here. There was a mosquito that's like, I'll still go for that. That's
Already
a big
on
sack
you.
of blood right there.
My goodness.
But no, my nose has recovered. It may look red to you guys, but just wait until if only you could see how red it was before. It was like
Chug
an
some
entire
whiskey and
scab.
kind of
pickle it.
are still red.
Pickle the nose or pickle the nose scab.
How's the gout? Any gout update?
Nah, I mean I'm pretty on top of it. Haven't had gout in a while. I can drink nowadays, and the gout isn't a
What?
problem. I know my weight
Wow.
loss. What do they call it? A weight loss journey. My weight loss journey. It seemed to have alleviated an amount. No, nowadays it's just if I drink a lot of milk.
So
Really,
weird.
milk will make you gout up?
Yep, that's the
That's
one
so
thing.
weird, dude.
Like
You ever drink a gallon and then projectile vomit? We used to do that in high school.
For
just
fun, right?
Yeah.
No, I've never done that. I've seen people
No.
do it though.
Can't say I've done it. How quick do you have to drink the gallon?
I feel like you can take your time and you're still going to throw it all up.
Yeah, I think it's what's the challenge? Is it within 30 minutes?
Or like an hour.
Or
Yeah.
a week?
Yeah, it's just something with your stomach where it like won't take it, and you just vomit it up. That's a fact. Hey, I don't know.
Noel. Go on, Phil.
I was gonna change the subject. What were you gonna say, Jake?
I was going to change the subject too. I was going to say, so no Alex tonight. Apparently,
Yeah, what's up with Alex?
Oh, no
Alex is out,
Alex.
so potentially no meme.
Oh my
Which
goodness.
means we can totally end the show super early.
Like right now.
Yeah, we can just end it right now without Alex having to post the meme first.
No, we have a good topic. The topic is grab bag and catch up.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's grab bag? What does that mean?
Well, I asked Pear, and then Pear, what was your response?
I said, I don't know.
It's your topic. Okay, this is this similar to when I did a structure grab bag? I don't know if I used the exact same phrasing. I'll look it up right now. But yeah, I did like a cluster of structural tips.
Yeah, look it up. We'll just redo yours.
Okay, I could probably bring up the exact same PowerPoint presentation because they don't get unloaded.
No, I
that's
got the
true.
grab bag right here.
All right,
I'll
cool.
pull it up in a second. We'll pull some stuff out of it.
I hope it's just like show and tell. Like Pear's like, this is when I was a kid. I caught this baseball.
Here's like a dried carrot nub. Can you guys see that?
Talk
Wow.
about it.
How long has that been sitting under your table?
You got to put
They
them
slowly
in the
become
trash.
carrot raisins.
Oh,
You guys know what I'm
no.
talking
I have
Crazy.
never left Carrot out long enough to know that fact.
There is big news. The awards are this weekend. The Nobody Gives a Damn Awards.
Oh, right, I
And
forgot. I didn't give a damn.
your,
Yeah.
your favorite show, all you people in the chat, is up for Best Ensemble Show. Creative Block was pretty high in the ranks on Best Show. So go over there,
No,
have some fun, pull up some popcorn. I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern. I could be mistaken.
Phil's burying the lead. The hot new thing. Obviously, new creator, Hyper Wizard over here.
New creator as well.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, that was
You're
good.
really bearing the lead. The most important thing is whatever the hell it's called.
Your
Best
cover.
artist?
Your
Yeah.
cover for me.
Yeah, best cover for Jake's Carnal campaign, but it's actually my cover. So
Damn.
that's what everyone should
It's a
vote
double
for.
win.
Oh, you know
My
what? I feel like
cover.
that
Double win.
settles your guys' war right there, because you guys have been battling covers, like who's his
Guys,
Star
don't
Wars
vote.
sales.
Don't
What can I
vote for
say? I just
Irene's
can't stop
cover.
winning.
Do not vote for Irene's cover.
Oh, we got all the
Yeah.
It's funny because on the
Definitely vote for
image they
me.
made for their video, because it's the only wraparound one.
Yeah.
It like has to be shoved at the top next to the name.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
By the way, 16 people watching. I want to remind everyone
Hello.
to Nosferatu is a live campaign also. So
That's
kind of
right.
Second printing of that.
Wait,
Alright,
pull
go.
up. Wait, we should do the official thing for just a second. Let's pull them up for a second, because I want to see how all
Pull it up.
Nosferatu's doing. And I'll pull up my. I want to prove that we're on Route 60. Oh no, I have to log out to get rid of this stupid side menu.
What a
Route
mess.
66.
Yeah, so Indiegogo said, "Oh, great campaign. We're gonna put it in a newsletter in this specific date," and then it didn't happen.
Did they not do that?
I didn't see the newsletter. Maybe they shifted it to a different date.
They probably did.
Um,
Be a dick move if they just didn't include
I was
you.
waiting
I'm
there
just
all day. I'm
telling
like,
you.
today's the day. I'm gonna get one new backer from their newsletter.
They probably pushed the newsletter back. I'm not signed up for the newsletter, so I wouldn't know.
I need to
Here we go.
figure something out with my newsletters.
Here's Nosferatu. Beep, boop,
Yes.
boop, boop. Halfway to the goal. Can we get to
Alrighty.
600 tonight? This one, it'll
Yes.
jump up a lot at some point, because I actually haven't mailed it to my email list yet. And that a lot of them will probably already have the first printing, so it's not like it'll get a ton of backers. But
New
there's
cover.
yeah, and there's 1,200 on that list, and I
Damn.
don't think everyone gets Twitter. But I'm holding off on that till kind of towards the end. I'll send that out, and then I have one guy who buys in bulk, so it'll go up, and I'm going to sell some original art on this campaign too. So it'll go up a
I
fair
need
amount
to
by
do
the
that.
time it's all
Pump
I
it
said
need
up.
to
and done.
get on the original art wagon. I'm planning to do a few pieces and then make an event out of putting them up. But hey,
Yeah.
Pum's back in the chat. He says, "What up, you all? Got the Reenie Connell cover today. Thank you. I did notice.
Yay! Thank you.
Very grateful indeed."
More people
Yo.
should be like Pumps Back.
Hell yeah.
Um,
What's up, Pumpback? Good seeing you.
Another random thing is on December 13th. It's a ways off. I thought about tweeting it out, and I was like, I don't even know if I should. I'm a little paranoid about haters or whatever. But I have a real life event in my hometown. We're doing a Nosferatu silent film
Oh, yeah.
screening at an art gallery, and I'm putting new music to the silent film, and it's going to be cool. And then I'm selling my Nosferatu comics there too, in person, and that's $5 at the door. It's like a event. I'm nervous no one will come, but I actually have a few people
Nah.
helping me. Like a few, like nice people that are like helping me print posters and put them up. They're doing that more than me even, I think. So
Go to libraries like around town and advertise them at libraries on like pin boards as well.
yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we'll see.
Cool.
Like, I'll let you guys know like how that goes once it's done.
Yeah, Noel.
Yeah.
Shadowpunk's asking for the link to your book. He says he's there surprised that you have one currently. Didn't know about it.
Yeah.
See, it's
Pear does
kind of
this-
slow.
This thing where he
The
doesn't
news.
put stuff in the descriptions of the streams
Ever.
or pin things to the top of the chat.
Or get the show number right.
I think it's more obvious this time that it's not.
Yeah,
right
than
on
it's ever
purpose. It's weeks.
It's like, what are these links for? Fiendish 1, Lost Pages 2?
This is actually my
Holofist?
least prepared stream ever, legitimately. but
Yeah,
it's
it's,
okay.
the
That's
next
okay.
episode, the novel host will be like Fiendish One launch party. Or something.
Everyone will be very confused.
We got Moromi in the chat though, dropping links. Moromi, if you could drop that Nosferatu link, that would be amazing, brother.
You know,
No.
Moromi's
It's a
dropping the band
Kickstarter
of,
if you're having trouble finding it. Sorry,
Yes.
what were you saying?
Right?
and Moromi's dropping the Band of the Crow link in the chat. They have
I need to get
150 backers on both platforms, I noticed. Because I didn't realize they had a Kickstarter, and I'm like, man, it looks like they're hovering around 150. And then I was like, oh, cool, they have a whole Kickstarter, and they have a whole other 150.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome, dude.
Go
Yeah.
them.
It's good. It's good because they're doing the $3 promo kind of thing. Like they're losing money on this one, and then the full album because it's kind of an album structured thing, like European style, like Bancroft likes and stuff. And well,
Yeah.
everyone likes it. But so they're doing that later this spring, and that will be more of like sold to make a little profit. I think at that point. But yeah, Arvid said he's kind of like investing a fair amount. Like he's investing money in that promo because they're losing some money. He's investing a fair amount in some advertising, some other like secret fun promo stuff. So it's kind of a fun alternative to some of the past that we all know is like YouTube is basically a big part of how we do everything.
Yeah, Harvard's awesome.
And there are pros and cons to that, and if there was a way to like someone cracked just like advertising, like yeah, you just put in $10,000 and you get 20,000 sales, so it's worth it or something. I'd be like, man, I want to see what Arvid's experience is.
Arvid would be a great person to have on the show as well. He's
Yeah.
a long time
Yeah,
writer.
Yeah, he
Storyteller.
is like a legit writer. He wrote a novel, and that's kind of what red pilled him, is because it was after he did a comic series in the 2000s called Rex Mundi, like a full-fledged multi-volume epic. And then
Dark Horse.
Yeah, for Dark Horse. And then he wrote a novel, and he was going to get that published. He lived in New York City. He's like in the scene kind of, But that happened right as the kind of SJW takeover happened, and so he couldn't get published. So he kind of got red pilled because of that. And then so he's turning that novel into a comic series, and that's what Band of the Crow is. So it's like pretty legit and awesome. It's kind of fun, the whole story. And he randomly helped me edit one of my Percival stories too, which was really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And
Awesome.
yeah, and so it was very useful to get his feedback on one of those. He gave me pretty legit, like, fun feedback too. Like he kind of treated me like if I was submitting to a New York publisher, I think. So the first thing he did was berate me for typos and say, "Put your best foot forward." And I was like, "Oh, sorry." And he's like, "It's okay, just fix it up and resend it." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay."
Yeah, sometimes we're chillax about that stuff.
Yeah, and in my head I was thinking like, well, I'm just drawing it myself, so do I really need to?
Right.
And
Yeah.
Do I really do put effort in?
Sure.
yeah, and then he's like, "Best foot forward," and I'm like, "You're right. Damn it, you're right." Yeah, Vaughn says brutal feedback super helpful. Yeah, that the brutal feedback's fun. That's a little bit his brand, I guess. And I mean, just between me and Vaughn, and that's good. That's like very useful, very sought after. It's hard for me to do that for people. I don't usually do that. I just say, "Nice job, keep going, kid."
That's not helpful at all.
So there you go, guys. If Novel ever gives you feedback and he says, "Nice job, good going, kid," you know your fucking thing sucks. He just won't tell you.
You know, he probably didn't read it.
Yeah.
No, there's a few that I've helped that I'm proud of a little bit of the help I did. And there's one right now in my inbox I still need to read. But yeah, I do enjoy that. I enjoy reading people's scripts. I guess there can be too many and then you'd be like, "Oh, I'm stuck reading a bunch of scripts. I don't want to do this."
Yeah.
But there's been phases where people have kind of just randomly been sending me them, and I usually say yes. So I've been reading them, and I'd be thinking to myself, like, I'm reading something that no one else in the world has read or is reading.
Yeah.
Like, I read super hip stuff. You guys wouldn't have heard of what I've read. Nobody's heard of it.
I mean, you were literally the first person to read the Connell script. I don't think anyone's ever read it in script form other than you.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to see, because I didn't read any of the edits, so I get
Okay,
to read
no.
the final, and I'll see how much it changed because I think it changed a ton, didn't it?
Yeah, it'll be like a fucking entirely different universe.
It's super different.
In fact,
Much
so
better.
none of the stuff that's in the first book of Carnal is in the original script that you read. Literally nothing.
Oh, really?
Because-
That's funny.
Yeah. Like the first scene of the script you read is actually the end of the second book, where he bursts.
Oh, so it does
into
come
that-
up later.
Yeah. It does.
That's
all that
good.
stuff will happen, but it was like so many setups have to happen. Like, because back then, like my whole philosophy was like, oh, we just have to jump into a situation and keep people guessing, just have fun stuff happening. And I was like, wait a minute, the villain isn't really set up. Like all of this stuff hasn't really been introduced. So yeah, the entire almost 2 first books are stuff that got added.
Pull it up. Where's Carnal?
Oh, it's up. Yeah, I got it
Yeah,
up.
here you go.
Here we go. Yeah, guys.
Take a
if
look
you-
at
if
this
you,
bad boy.
If you haven't,
Oliver 656. What's up?
Yeah,
Go,
hey
Oliver.
Oliver. I don't know if Oliver's back yet, but you know what? You totally. I bet he has. But yeah, this is the book that has been through way too much development.
Hey, it's
Don't
good
shame
to plan.
It's now being drawn. My aim is to now work on the first scene, and I want to do the kind of like opposite new method to Ovid, because Ovid's going like business, lost leader, like, you know what I mean, building trust. Well, we already built trust on the preview book campaign.
That's right.
So like what I'm gonna do is try and put like a chunk of it up, just the first couple of scenes, for free to read on Global Comics, to see if that can bring in new people, because you can link to your store from there. So yeah, that's my aim currently. I don't get to jump around the book. I've got to like start from the first pages and work through it in a line, which is not the way we ever do this stuff. But yeah, so check it out. I think it's looking good. We're doing quite well. It's in Gubba Per, but we broke 5,000. We're at 66 backers. Thank you to everyone that joined this week. Let's switch it to dollars so people don't have to get pounded by that.
They're called dollary dues, just so you know.
That's
No, that's-
that's the
USD.
Osmondo. There we go.
yeah.
USD.
Hey, new Taiwan dollars. I recognize that. It's
USD.
the twids.
Do I get to?
By the way, do you guys see how high Bitcoin is after Trump won?
It's
Very high.
insane
Really? Did it go up again?
Confidence in general high in
That'd
the
be
markets.
funny if all that would cause a rebound in crypto.
Doge is up
Yeah.
as well. Doge is up to
I
40.
I knew I should have bought Doge. Fuck.
Well,
know.
is Doge up simply because of the Department of Government Efficiency?
could
Yes.
say.
Literally a
that's
government
how the
department
internet
called
works.
You
Doge
could say.
now.
I need to check
Oh.
my
Doge is
crypto.
up. Doge is up to like over 40 cents, and
That's
like,
crazy. It was like
Monday-
1/10 of a cent or 1/100th of a cent, and it was reasonable to buy it at that point.
Yeah, my brother bought a bunch of it early on, but
Bro.
when it was just on Monday, I think it was like 25 cents, and now it's over 40 cents.
You know
Holy
what's fucked up? When I tried to buy Doge months ago, they wouldn't let me. They're like, "Oh, this isn't available," or what the fuck ever. They were like,
That's what
"Why?"
happened to me
Lame
too.
enough.
I wasn't
That's
astute
lame.
enough to do it. Yeah.
I could have been rich.
They vibe
I
check
bought
on
some,
me.
but it was like a scam because I bought ones that weren't scams, and I have an okay little portfolio. But I
That
went for some
sucks.
weird coins on like a weird site, and it shut down and took all my money. I lost like $300, but it was like $300 in Doge when it was at 0.01 or whatever. cents.
Wow,
Okay.
congratulations.
Well,
You could have made
That's
bank.
okay.
It's a shame you bought Doge where the E was upside down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but if you guys want to invest in Carnal the Barbarian.
yes.
Well, I mean, speaking of investing in Connell, Oliver 656 is saying he can't decide which cover to back.
Ooh.
Obviously, that means you should get your hands wrapped around a throbbing package ASAP. But then you get all the covers. There's no picking then. And look, believe it or not, we have 14 Throb Squad elites who have delved into even one. We got another one this week, which is amazing. But yeah, Oliver, there's a competition. And it does not look. It is not actually as far flung as people may seem. Here is Irene's cover.
hey,
the,
look at that.
The
Don't you want that cover
They
adorning
vehemently
your
criticized
bookshelf?
Irene cover. And
Yes.
a much better my cover that doesn't have a logo over someone's eyes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
You
true.
know-
Yeah, I heard a lot of people love Jake's cover.
And a lot of
Yeah.
people love mine too, because mine is still leading in this the totally serious cover competition that we
Well,
have going on.
How much?
Snarticon-
What's the
Would
lead
you-
by?
How much is what?
What's the numbers here on each cover?
Well, this is
Snarky
the
would
thing.
know.
This is the thing. Snarticon thinks that just because it's 20 versus 27, which is an entire 7 ahead, but I have the true numbers because there is such a thing in this
Oh,
world
here's the
called
true
cope.
numbers.
I mean add-ons. And if we check the add-ons,
Yes.
let's. Am I not logged in? Oh, freaking
Oh,
fright!
aw, too
Hold on,
late.
hold
fail.
on. I think that's not the right login. Well, she's only 5 ahead.
Okay. I mean, I'm still ahead.
You're 5.
but
You're
It's
okay.
okay.
Yes.
You can mollify yourself however you want. But yeah.
that's not
So,
that much.
you know, if you look at my cover, there's a lot of appealing things. There's a lot of goo. There's a lot of boobage. There are there's many design elements and a tongue shape. Clearly, that's totally unintentional. It's
Fly.
definitely unintentional on my part. Definitely wasn't also Jake's idea, and definitely has nothing to do with the theme of the book itself. That
is
there
funny
were
that
certain
the
phallic
tongue
symbols there.
It is.
Oh, I'm just such a
funny
bad
that
designer,
the tongue
guys.
looks like a dick, though. It is kind of funny.
Yeah, it is funny, and it was
And
totally,
the tongue's
totally
blue.
didn't mean to
And
do
guess
that.
what else is blue? It's great.
Ah.
But yes, the battle of the covers is on, and as Hausatosa says, Hyper Wizard cover bros hold the line. So if you want to back my cover and pull this back from the evil clutches of Irene Strakowski, then do it. You want to click this one?
Evil clutches.
The evil clutches. But you know, I even changed I've been puttering away on the page. You see how I made the page look like the trailer now?
That actually is very cool.
it fades
That's a
in.
really nice little intro graphic to the campaign.
It goes from the first page, like fades into the first comic page. I'm very proud
Nice.
of
Yeah, that's cool.
nice.
that. We
Yeah, I like
even-
your little headers too. They're like little slices.
the like
into-
cut in.
I wonder where you got that idea.
Let's get
putting,
down-
like headers to your.
Yeah, I wonder where you
Cool.
got that idea.
Yeah.
Wonder who made cool headers a thing.
Literally everyone else that runs the campaign, right? Like, what do you mean?
Well,
But what we announced this week, we got a new area. We got stretch goals, and lo and behold, on announcing, we'd already pretty much hit 2 of them. If we do cross 69 backers tonight, we might even cross the next stretch goal at 6K. But yes, after getting to like $5,700, all the big orders and throwing packages come in one of those special boxes that everyone does, and you now even get every single backer gets a free block pregnancy test trading card, which isn't as crass as you think. It's right down here. Oh, it's not even big.
I
It's
see it.
tiny.
There it is.
Hold on, I'm gonna make this big. Look,
Do you have like an image you can screen share of it?
yeah, I'll do that.
You should do that.
But look,
Have you revealed these? Have you
yes,
posted
yes,
the
yes,
logo?
yes, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, on announcing the stretch goals, I was able to put out the trading card sets. There is an entire set which is stretch goal related that everyone will get. Every backer will get these as they get unlocked. Maybe we'll get another one tonight. Who knows? And then there is the base level Indiegogo set, and each of these kind of like comes with something on the campaign. If I zoom in. Like, the Seed Shaman one is included with the pin, so is the Seedling Queen. The Connell one's with the main cover. Yeah, you can go check it out. Go check it out on the campaign, connellcomic.com.
Very nice.
Back the book.
Back
Let's
to
get
book.
to 69 tonight, guys.
Also,
69.
It's not that much further. We can do it, everybody.
Here's a tiny cool thing. You see all of these? So this is the portrait cover that you only get in the throwing package. That cover comes with its own card, which is the first of 9 of the portrait covers. So yeah, I've been having fun with trading cards. Everyone will get some cool stuff. I'm hoping to unlock this whole set.
All right.
Collect it all. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
And right in the middle of this set is the sketch card. Look, it's right here. If I zoom in, It says sketch card 5 of 9 included with throbbing package. That is where, in this bundle right here, you see this little Thomas the Tank Engine drawing here? That is a
Yes.
sketch card that is actually a proper numbered card that goes right in the middle of this set. So yeah, if you get the throbbing package, you get everything. You get all the sets. So and you can pick any of these characters. Here are the ones. There'll be a drop down. So yeah, enjoy. I hope at least one of you banks during the stream. I look forward to welcoming you to the Throb Squad.
More people should back the Le Throbbing Opacajo, so Jake has to do a million sketches and suffer.
Yeah, that will be the case. I only have to do 89 maximum.
Oh, only 89, everybody.
Yeah, because the 10 that Alex bought don't come with cards because they were the individual. Anyway, yes,
That's
maybe
lame.
drawers.
You should definitely draw 10 just for Alex. He's such a good customer. Guilt.
Do it.
If only Alex was here to hear this.
I'm here to make Jake
I'm gonna throw up the grab bag. Let me see where.
Yeah, grab it.
do it.
Okay.
Hey, Jason
so
Krager's here. Hello.
Yo, what's up, Jason?
Krager. Hey, what's
Krager.
up, Krager? Le, the final metamorphosis. What's up? Luce. Have you guys heard of Luce? I wanted to talk about Luce a little bit.
Love Luce. Luce is awesome.
I've become a fan. So, are you guys familiar, Jake or Rini?
Of Luce? You mean Luce? It's the thing you don't know how to say the name of. The little the Christian
Pilgrim.
anime character.
She's just a pilgrim.
Is she
Oh,
just
is
a-
that her name? I couldn't figure out how to say her name. I
Yeah.
thought her name was like Luca or Lucy. Like, how the fuck do you even
Well,
pronounce
you
These
might be
guys
right,
always
but
do.
I've just been saying Luce.
Yeah, I've just been saying Luce too.
But it's
Okay,
so
cool.
it's like the new, like cartoony-ish. What do you call it? Mascot for the Catholic Church. They made a little anime bobblehead, cute little girl who fights demons. Is their like mascot? But it's official. Like the Pope unveiled it, and it's this cute little anime girl.
Do you
She
have
wears
the,
a. What were you
do you
gonna
have
say,
the
Jake?
photo? Do you have the image? Do you not have the image?
Perfect.
I have a bunch of them. Here, hold
All
on.
the memes of her have already. It's great.
I know.
What a great wholesome meme. I know the fan art of her hasn't all been wholesome, but shame on anyone who's doing that to bring
Yeah,
upon
look at
this
her.
new age of our society.
She has a
That's AI
yellow
art.
raincoat. Yeah.
There's plenty of non-AI art, Phil.
As if you give a shit if it's AI.
There we go. That's
Yeah.
AI right
That's
there.
very cute.
That's
This
the version of her that was unveiled. It's like chibi style, kind of.
Yeah. This one's
Hey,
pretty good.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Long
So
love it.
version.
a few things about this. Right as it got unveiled, there was a big reaction that I saw. It was kind of like, the trad Catholics or whatever being like, "Oh my God, this is so terrible. The Catholic Church is so cooked. This is the worst thing." And then I think Luce has been kind of embraced by like non-Catholics. They just love her, which is sort of the point. I think the Catholic Church,
It's
they
a
would have
good
wanted
thing.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of artists that really have been making memes, and they aren't necessarily Catholic. And it's this, they're winning the information war though. Like ultimately, Luce, whether or not it's, I feel like she's at this point, she's not cringe at all. She's like really wholesome and fun. Even though at first two people are like, what, they named her Luce? It's a clear, like the Catholic Church is been, taken over by Satan. It's a short for Lucifer, blah, blah, blah.
It's short for light.
Yeah.
Like, just because the same particle is in Lucifer's name doesn't
Like
mean that's
Latin
what she's
for
hinting
light,
at.
You never know. They
Yeah.
both could be true. It could be she could be cool,
It could
and then it could
be.
also been taken over by Satan.
It could be,
with how
but
things
until
are going.
with how things are going, yes. But
Yeah.
until proven
Yeah, maybe
otherwise, I
both.
think
I
she's just
rebuke
cute.
Satan.
That yes,
Yes.
Get away, Satan. We hate
Until
you.
it's proven
No.
otherwise, I will see her as a wholesome, cute symbol.
Yep, and the fact that it's a kind of a fun example of that the marketing. Actually, this came up in the Trump campaign. They had a term for it, but they called it earned marketing. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Versus
No.
like the opposite of that is what Kamala's campaign, because they were in debt because they spent too much on marketing. So they ended their campaign and they're like 20 million in debt. Trump,
Oh,
his
right.
marketing budget was zero because all he did was do podcasts, and he did where he'd hold the huge rallies, and those would just get covered by the news channels. So he paid $0. They call that earned marketing.
I
So-
think almost getting killed several times probably was a real good marketing move.
Yeah.
The moment that happened, I remember saying, like, he's obviously won now. Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
This was
I
my
do
favorite.
agree. There's a
Oh,
certain
yeah.
type of marketing where you just put something out there that resonates with people or makes people want to talk about it so much that you don't need a marketing budget. And that's what happened here.
well, that's what this is.
Yes.
Everyone's making their own artwork.
It's sort of like lightning in a bottle, but who could have predicted? Because all it is they give you her name, and she has the yellow coat, the blue hair, chibi. That's kind of it. And then that, but I think that, you know how they say with like main characters in video games, it can be good if they don't talk and if they are super simple, because then the audience will
You
like
can project
project
into
onto
them.
them.
For sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that happened with Luce, I think, too. Like people went wild with like the lore, and it's because she started with nothing. But there was
It's
a
a
spark.
reverse. It's a reverse Streisand effect. It's like the horseshoe, the other side of the horseshoe on the
Yeah.
Streisand effect.
Yes.
Yeah. What is that? Wait, say it out loud.
That's where if you don't want people to talk about something, if you go, don't talk about this, it's all they're going to end up talking about, right? That's the Streisand effect.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretend you really don't want them to say
But then
this.
on the flip side is like, you don't say anything, you just put a tiny thing out there, then everyone talks about it anyway. You didn't even have to Streisand affect it.
Oh yeah. It is. By the way, this meme is hilarious. That it seems
Yeah.
like Luce is so funny.
That's great.
I'm loving. Yeah, we live in a meme society, and I'm loving every minute of it. You know.
Yeah,
Yes.
but very organic, like swelling of the memes and the fun development of the character.
They did the first image I saw of the character, there was like a diagram that explained her character design, like what the raincoat represents, why she has muddy boots, and like
Oh.
a little diagram. I'm trying to find that because that explains stuff.
It's kind of cool too, like that in 2024, the Catholic Church declared that they had an official mascot, and it's a cute little anime girl. Like
Yeah.
this
but
is
isn't
this
it-
is
isn't it-
canon for the church.
But isn't it the mascot for the year? Not their mascot. It's like, the way I read
it's
it
only
was...
for the year?
Yeah.
Oh, really? For
This is a
this
point.
It's like
year?
their mascot for the year 2024.
Well,
They're
they should
gonna change it up?
consider.
If
should
they
cons-
change it and they take Luce away from us, I
Yeah.
don't know if I can handle
No
that.
one's
Wait,
gonna.
no.
No one's gonna hold up to Luce. They'll try and do it again. And they'll try too hard, and it'll be.
It's
fine.
yeah, it's not gonna
Sharing-
work. They should keep if this just for the year. That's a dumb idea. Imagine if someone struck gold with a character like Hello Kitty, and then they're just like, "Oh, this is only for like 1975, and we're gonna try to get rid of her." It's dumb.
Yeah, mascot of the whole year 2025 is the post I'm reading
Yeah.
that I can't
Okay,
show
maybe
you
this
guys
wasn't
right
as
now.
great of an idea as I thought.
I'm sharing the original image where he took
You
the cloth
shall
off.
not get rid of Luce.
No, she'll just be living in the past.
The fan
Like
art.
with everyone else who talks about Mudang now.
How
And
dare
you-
you?
It feels it. And then I don't know how the
Here you
memes. Oh yeah. Oh cool. We can look at this.
It's like the
Muddy
explanation.
boots.
Dang is forever.
The raincoat symbolizes the journey through the storm, indicating the waves. Let's see. The muddy, dirty boots, a symbol of humility and a long journey.
What about the blue hair?
And she has a dog. The dog
I
What?
didn't know that was dog.
was for San Rocco, a sign of divine providence that assisted him in times of extreme need. It symbolizes his fidelity to God's calling. The dog is also a symbol of friendship. Hell yeah.
Who is this cherub in a hat? I
Who
didn't
is
know
this
that
guy?
was. She came with a stalker cherub.
Oh, the angel. It
is
represents
it?
the union between
That's an
earthly
angel.
experience and the presence of God in life, offering courage in moments of
I'm going to
solidarity.
hell.
I mean, that
Okay.
was already apparent years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that, but I'm going to hell even harder
I
now.
like the angel's double wings. It's
Very
like,
cute,
I
yes.
need wings on my hat as well.
This is like Hermes.
It's like a video game character.
Wouldn't his hat fly off his head?
Oh.
Next year, they should make their 2025 symbol like a biblically accurate angel
That would be
to,
cool.
to up the memery. Because it's like, how are you going to up this? Cute
They should
anime
just
girl
Keep
monster.
adding to like this group. So like keep Luce, but then there's a new
Yeah.
character. Like the angel's like this little
They
sprite
need
that
a
hangs
whole
around.
Then
It.
Catholic
make
Sanrio
an
village.
anime. Make an anime.
Yeah. They should do a little something more with the character. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's the best one.
Noel, I'm sharing the original
Aw.
photo.
Did you
Wait.
draw a
Badass.
Luce, Jake?
I have.
Oh yeah, look at the priest unveiling it.
Man.
That is
Yeah, that's the
adorable.
unveiling. It's hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yo, Snug.
or I don't know if priest is the right
Hey.
word. Is it? I forget.
Guy
It's
with
some
white.
kind
The
of
father?
holy man.
Looks like a priest to me.
padre.
Yeah.
I'm not Catholic. I apologize. I don't know these things.
What's up?
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, but just because there was right at the beginning, it was mocked, and it totally took off, and nobody's mocking it anymore. So that's
Good. Good.
No, yeah, I'm all about it. Dope.
Husatosis Jared. He goes, doesn't the Catholic Church already have a mascot? He's like a son of something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
this
wasn't
is-
moe enough, I guess.
This is just taking away. No, you could. Who could? You couldn't
Yeah,
take away
yeah.
from
This
the
is
power
adding
of-
to. No, I like that previous one of her with Jesus. I thought that was badass.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, they should do an anime series where Luce is the surrogate for you, and God is teaching her about Jesus' life, and she's like walking through the scenes like a Christmas carol. It'd be dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Why is a stick like that?
That's like
It's
a pilgrim stick, bro.
Is
Yeah.
God, I
It's
got
a
it.
For
Bourdon.
dowsing?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's a dowsing rod.
Is it a dowsing rod?
Wait, let me see if it
that's
says
not what
anything
dowsing
about
rods look like. She was using it like a beating baton. Did you see? Well,
Oh.
like when you use a short part as a handle.
this. Yeah.
Go back to Phil's. No.
You don't have to. I pulled it down. I'll read it. It's
Oh.
called a Bourdon. You were right, Narwhal. It's a walking stick. It evokes the arduous journey of the pilgrim. I guess like a pilgrimage stick. It symbolizes the pilgrimage of life, a journey towards eternity.
Aww.
Bourdon.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that guy.
so it's a
that stole the
Sisyphus rod. A rod of
What
Sisyphus.
if Luce is the Antichrist?
pill. No.
Well,
That's what
Because
the
the
evil
Antichrist
ones
is supposed to
want you to
trick
think.
people. Because it would be a super lovable
you
little
never
anime
know.
girl.
It
Right.
could
Luce
be-
is not a person, so it can't be the Antichrist, right?
It's the symbol of the.
But I've heard people say that it is evil, and it's a false Bible, right?
What does the word loose mean if it isn't just short for Lucifer?
People have said
Come on.
Luce
Like-
is evil.
Light. Lute derives from the Latin root for light,
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
which is also also is part of the root of Lucifer's name.
So does Fur
Lucifer
mean
means light
bringer?
bringer.
So
Yes.
is Lucifer
Light-
the light bringer?
Lightbringer,
Yeah.
yes. I know, it's a deceptive name.
Did you just figure that out?
They probably
Common
should have
knowledge,
thought better
Jake.
about Luce's name. I will agree with that.
No, I was making a Channel Wisdom reference, Phil.
He
Oh,
was
okay.
named that before he became the devil, though. Because he was just
Yeah.
an angel, and he was just chill.
All
or
right, God
whatever.
didn't know he was going to be a big d bag.
That's like note to self. Whatever guy you name the Lightbringer, he's gonna betray you. in
Yeah,
real life.
name your kids disappointment so they will never turn out to be evil.
Yo, is this true? Ellie in chat says Luce knows kung fu.
Of course she knows Kung Fu.
Yeah, it's canon.
That's
Because
dope.
Luce is like the Kung Fu, the legend continues, or that old show Kung Fu. It's like a traveling. She's a pilgrim, so she's just a traveler. She wanders into town and she helps people. So that's
She's
what
a
it's-
catalyst character.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Or-
Storytelling reference.
yeah.
She's dope.
Cool.
So yeah, good
So
show,
that's
guys.
Luce.
Neat.
That's the grab bag. Could I interject on something I did this week?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't do how was your week, and
We
we
should
can
talk about
still.
that.
Yeah,
But I wanted to make because Noel was talking about them. That was them winning the info war. The real winner of the info war apparently is the Onion. Did you
Yeah,
guys see
that's
this?
something.
I didn't see it.
Phil, the Onion won InfoWars at auction. So they own InfoWars.
We-
What?
The Onion owns
live in-
InfoWars now.
I didn't know that. That's
We
crazy.
live in the best timeline.
That's awesome.
Poor Alex Jones. Screaming at a camera.
So
Chimera, real quick, he has an interesting comment. It doesn't say anywhere that Satan is Lucifer in the Bible. He was only equated with Lucifer in a 606 ad by the Pope.
Huh?
that shifty Pope.
It doesn't say
That's a
that?
twist. They're two different
a
people,
twist?
so Lucifer's still out there somewhere.
Well,
I
then
never
who
heard
was
that.
then who was Beelzebub? I mean
Yeah,
Beelzebub.
They're all like different demons, right? Like Beelzebub is
Yeah,
something.
Phil, tell me who
they live in
Beelzebub-
pandemonium.
right, and then
Suck 'em.
Satan is also something
Okay,
else.
Phil is probably most religious out of all of us. Is anybody here more well versed in the Bible?
I'm
Only
not.
Wendigoon videos
Okay.
for me. Thanks.
could,
I'm
So,
well
quick,
ver-
call
Could use the
Wendigoon,
brushing
everybody.
up.
I'm well versed in the Bible, but I
Okay.
think it was the wrong book.
Okay. I watched Prince of Egypt, and that's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
I
am
still
I the
need to
only
watch
one?
that one.
Am
Dude,
I
that's
the
a
only
good
one of
movie.
all
It
four
is.
of us that went to like a Christian school after school thing when I was younger?
Yeah,
Did any of
Probably.
you guys do it?
I went to a
Yeah.
Buddhist after school thing.
What?
Well,
No.
I went to this thing
I-
called Trailblazers, and I never really realized it was like a Christian thing. Would they just have like the stories of Jesus on like a VHS thing playing in the corner, and it was just a
Oh.
bunch of kids hanging out, and I was
Cool.
like, "This is fun." But then later, I was like, "Wait a minute,
Wait a minute.
that was like a whole Christian thing."
Hold on a bit.
Yeah,
so
I
fun,
went
though.
to
Hilarious.
Catholic school until like third grade, and then we moved, and then I went to public school, and then I did go to some like church school after school stuff, and I did like communion and all that stuff.
So you had a week, huh, Phil?
I had a
As in
week.
you were about to talk about something from your week.
Yeah. So I've been watching this anime that I thought would have been better. All right.
It's not free reign, is it?
No,
Okay.
it's called
Good.
Gungrave.
We can still be friends.
Oh, it's got gun in the title. Of course, he was
Of
watching.
course.
Well, it's based on a video game that was co-created by the creator of Trigun. All right, I hear the video game's good, but they made an anime out of it, and it's about this badass guy who has a giant coffin on his back. That the coffin is a gun as well, and he like hunts demons. And it's a 24 episode series, and I'm 14 episodes in, and the guy hasn't turned into the badass with the gun and the coffin on his back. He's like some scrawny kid who's part of a mafia. And I
That's
just got to the episode
ridiculous.
where he dies, and then he's gonna finally come back to life and be a badass.
That is way too long.
It's
to wait.
it's way
They
too
brought
long.
in Asuka sooner than they did that.
Would you not think that's brave? I mean, speaking of anime that don't
No.
tell you what's going on for the whole time.
Okay. Okay.
I was mad about it.
there
Anyways,
are ways
but,
to do that right and ways to not do that right.
but
Oh,
now
God.
I'm like halfway through, and I'm like, I gotta finish this stupid thing so I can watch him. Someone get shot, some cool action. 'Cause no cool action has happened. But this week, guys, it's happened. It's November. Look what came in the mail. Book 3 of Trigun Maximum. I'm kicking Jake's ass in reading anime and reading manga this year so far. All
I'm
right.
getting beaten in manga reading,
Oh, no.
cover competitions.
Oh no.
Please, guys, vote for me in the new creator. I need to be the hot new thing.
Yeah.
But I
Definitely
got
He
back
declares
Jake's book.
the hot new thing.
600
help.
pages. Freaking awesome. I got my other. I didn't know if I told you. I got a new bookshelf, and I got my other two right here. So I got to read this so I could put it up. I'm excited to get back into it, and I got a discount on it because I still had some money on that Amazon card. So I'm excited about that,
I get Amazon cards every Christmas, and I always forget to register them.
dude. They should still be good if you have them. They're
Really?
yeah. I don't think they expire, and
Oh.
you just put the code in, and then you have that credit forever until you use it. So
Have
freaking
fun
that,
finding
man.
out that all that money is worth nothing because of inflation.
Yeah.
How does that work? Well, I'm excited. I got that. I got a bunch of. I got one of my Western stories finished and lettered, and I sent that off to the editor. So I'm super excited about that. I'm gonna be passing that around to buds. because that's going to be for next year. Getting more colors in for Psycho Slumber, and yeah, everything's been going awesome.
Is there an
Cool.
anime where the guy is the gun?
You want to
There
anime
are
with the guys?
there are animes where the girls are the guns.
Is it called Gun Girl?
Yes, that's exactly what it's called.
That sounds
Oh wait,
great.
no, there was one. Didn't you read one where the guy had a gun for a head?
Oh yeah, it's right here.
There's
It's,
this one where there's
it's,
a guy
it
who's
should
a
have a
By the way,
better
31
title.
people watching. That's good for my channel. We're celebs. We're bringing it in.
Hey,
We're basking in
famous.
a giant
Everybody
audience.
watching, please hit like and subscribe and back our books.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I have that one too. That's cool. I really like the art, so I just randomly bought that at a store once.
Me too. That's why, and it's like a noir cyberpunk story, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's called. It could have a better name. It's so anime-y. No Guns Life. It doesn't make.
Yeah,
any
that's
sense.
like ESL titles. A lot of manga and video games are like that, but it's cool. Sometimes I like it.
Yeah. Dope.
What about Jake and Rini? How was your guys' week?
It's great.
It was great. We pretty much went to the beach for a week.
Yeah, it was awesome. We're visiting some friends in South America land, and Jake got burned really bad, and I got devoured by mosquitoes. It was wonderful. I had a great time.
Did you see any Nazis? Because
No,
they're down there. All the
It's not
Nazis
that
went to
fun.
South America
we're
after
no.
World War II.
Isn't
mean, I don't think I
Argentina
did.
right at the bottom of South America?
No.
Like way down.
Well,
Like,
kind of, yeah, but not all the way at the bottom.
I think it's on the west side.
If you saw any blonde-haired, blue-eyed people in South America, they're Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're in. Oh no!
You son of a!
Jake's a Nazi.
He didn't even know it.
I'm not.
Big
It's
turns,
hilarious though. Jake kind of just sticks out like a sore thumb here.
You know,
He's like,
something
Oh,
random,
no.
real quick.
Giant-
I've been reading.
I believe that.
I've been reading several Hellboy books, and they're pretty great, you know.
Nice.
But Hellboy has a catchphrase. His catchphrase is "son of a."
Yeah, son of a.
Yeah, he's goes "son of a."
Yeah, it's a
Son
good
of a.
catchphrase.
Son of someone if you're
Let me see if I can
down in
find one.
Argentina and have blonde hair. But yeah, this region, I may be from the Shire, but this is where all the hobbits live.
Everyone's short.
Everyone's like a clear 1 foot 2 feet shorter than me.
It is very small. It's I think people are like the same. I feel like I'm back home, and I keep saying it. And I think I'm annoying all the the friends that we're visiting when I say that. But it's like the climate is similar to Taiwan because it's kind of tropical, and there's a lot of fruits everywhere, and people are kind of short.
Whoa.
And
We don't
even
call
I
them
feel
that
like a
over here,
giant-
Irene.
It's really similar. So I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm back in Taiwan, even though I'm not. And it's completely different.
Yeah, I feel like I'm back in time as Lord of the Rings. I'm like Gandalf.
Yeah, you're definitely Gandalf.
I'm
You look
quite
just like
sure.
Gandalf.
Son of a.
Son of a.
I can't even find
Gandalf.
any clothes that fit me. I couldn't even find any shoes that fit me.
Well, you found one pair that kind of fit.
Too overpriced airport Crocs. I'm not
You should
buying
buy like a
those.
hat, like a festive hat.
Phil, would you believe it? Couldn't even find a hat that fit me either.
Really?
A massive billowing cranium
Wow.
overflowing
It's
with
actually
bad
comical.
ideas.
It's so sad. But yeah, great time. Went to a beautiful place by the beach with a group of friends. It was like a great group vacation.
Which is like a
I
seance
tried-
you did?
Yeah, seance. That's exactly what I said.
I got possessed for a couple of days, but we figured it
That's
out.
what happened. Yeah, Jake was just screaming at the wall and throwing blood at it for a few days. Didn't know what happened. Still got some work done though. I finished another like 2 covers because we skipped a show. I've been wrapping
Yeah.
up a bunch of work I owe people that are way overdue. So I finished like 2 covers. One was for Wrecked, which is Travis's book, which everyone should go back.
Yeah.
Travis, down
Can
go
we
solo.
post
I don't
that
know if
link
he's
in
in
the chat?
chat. Yes, please post that link. That is live now on Indiegogo. And the other cover is, I think, Billy must have revealed it because it was.
It was shown on the stream.
Yeah, it was shown on stream. So it wasn't on Twitter, but he showed it on stream, so I can say it. I have a cover for She that's launching tomorrow. So everybody go back that as well when that comes out.
Yes. And that's awesome. I did see that. So
Yay.
she Gate Crashers launching
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, but other than that, we've watched a lot of Space Dandy.
Yeah, so my vacationing at the beach is watching too much anime. Basically sitting inside and watching anime for hours on end, and I'll go to the beach for like an hour, and then I'm like, that's enough for me. And
Yeah.
then I'll come back and watch more anime. I finished Space Dandy, and I started watching Free Run. I watched some Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man has been great. So yeah, I have been catching up on my Weebery, getting my Weeb card back.
I tried to
Philly,
watch
you-
Space Dandy and I can't find it anywhere, like on any streaming service that it's dubbed.
Just watch it on Crunchyroll. It's on Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
I
watch
don't have-
Crunchyroll.
What'd you
have to
say,
unpay-
Space
you have to
Dandy?
pay for Crunchyroll. I have
Yeah.
to pay for Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
Well,
Space
find
Dandy.
someone
They're all
else who
they're all
does.
episodic, and so it's funny. It's like I don't know, like maybe there's 24 episodes or something, and like
Yeah.
5 of them are masterpieces, and then like maybe 5 are really good, and then 10 are okay, and 4 are bad or something.
But Noel, did you watch them all the way to the end? You
Yeah.
watched the whole season?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, because Irene was annoyed that they were episodic and that they didn't make any sense, but then they, like, the truth is they actually are all tied together. Do you remember how?
No, I actually kind of forget. I know there's
Okay.
somewhere it just ends and they're like dead or they're zombies. Like it ends with them
No,
dying.
no,
What?
no. The zombie episode was way in the
Yeah,
beginning.
the
okay,
zombie one's like episode 5.
That's that's one of the
There's-
really good ones though.
That's my favorite
it's a very
one.
interesting show because it seems like there's no continuity, even though the characters. It feels like
Remember
everybody's
things.
Kenny, basically. That's the only way I can explain it. Where every episode, and within each episode, there's a lot of good stories within the episode, but it's like they'll end up dying at the end of the episode, and the next one, everything will just restart as if everything, none of that the previous episodes happened. But after a while, you start hearing the characters refer back to things that happened in the previous episode, even though in between they clearly either ended up as zombies or got blown up, and then that's never addressed. But it's explained. It's explained all the way at the end, and you have to watch till the end of the entire show why it's been so episodic and why there seems to be, it seems like everything is reset every time, and it makes sense. It's just absolutely wild,
And I couldn't
and
tell
it's
you
very
the whole
daring.
time. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you.
And
I must have
probably-
been drunk for that part. 'Cause sometimes by the end of
You-
shows I'm drunk.
Probably, apparently, we're drunk for that part. I can't say if I would have watched the whole show, that whole show, if I was on my own, I didn't have somebody telling me this totally be worth it. Keep watching it, because I hate it when things don't have continuity. But the animation was really good. So I was watching it mostly just for that. It was so impressive and well animated. I'm a sucker for good animation. And I can say it does make sense. It is explained.
We can't spoil it because we want Phil to watch it.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
It's fun. There are a lot of boobs and a lot of amazing action scenes, so Phil, you'll like it.
That sounds good.
It's great.
I already like it.
It's got a good soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, is it Madhouse? Did they do that as well?
I think it is.
It's the
Because
guy
they
who
do
did.
stuff.
It's Watanabe, the guy who did Cowboy Bebop.
Right,
It's
yeah,
the
and
guy,
his,
Shampoo.
the use of music in Cowboy Bebop is awesome. I mean, same in Trigun, and those are all
Yeah.
Madhouse productions.
You know,
as well.
Cowboy Bebop is more episodic than I remembered when I watched it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's all episodic except for like 7 episodes kind of string
Yeah.
together to tell like a really awesome story.
Yeah.
But even the one-offs are great. So
Yeah, Space Dandy was animated by Studio Bones.
Oh,
Oh,
never
okay.
mind. Okay.
yes.
What about
Did
you,
do
a
anything
pair?
this week, Noel? Yeah.
Yeah, what did I do? I don't even know. I forget. I think
You playing basketball? You break any shins?
Playing a polo.
Yeah, I've been shooting hoops. I'm pretty stoked. The Mavericks are doing really bad this year. I've been watching them.
Oh, no.
You know, I put money on them last year and they made it to the finals. This year, now they're like 5-7, so they're below 500. They wouldn't even make the playoffs at this rate. But it's because they traded a bunch. I'm like, why did you trade a bunch of stuff?
Man,
Like,
that was already a year ago. I feel like that was a few months ago. You were gambling on the Mavericks.
yeah. Well, it was like summer is when they don't play. So last June was the finals, and then like the October 1st or whatever the season starts. And
Wow.
So I just kind of watch it in the background or whatever, keeping abreast. Yeah. I got basically just two things on the grab bag because as I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah. One is
You didn't even draw a bag.
Chicken?
yeah. What do you guys think?
What's that
chicken
about?
is?
Psychological X.
What do I
Is it-
think chicken
what?
is?
I'll give you an example
Whose
because
X is a chicken?
yeah.
Not mine.
So chicken. So I was watching the Mavericks, and they, the game can come down to like the last second. So it's like tied 115, or they're maybe like down 115, 117 with 20 seconds left. So it's Mavericks ball, and they could at this point they could shoot a 3 or a 2. If they go for the 3, they might win. But if they go for the 2, then they go to overtime. And to get a 2 at that point, what the defense is doing too, like the defense can kind of decide what they want to try and do, but you don't want to give them the 3. So a lot of times you can take the 2 and get the tie pretty easily, almost like a layup, because they have to defend the 3. So then what happens is the defense can actually foul you, and the refs won't call it because it's the end of the game and they don't want to decide the game. The refs want to they can almost ruin the game by calling a foul. They want to let the players decide. They don't want to intervene. So the players know this, so they'll foul more. But if you foul too much, the refs will call it. So that's the game of chicken. Is you have a game of chicken against the refs where the defense is like, I can foul and they won't score and we'll win, but the refs might call the foul and then they would get 2 free throws and then they would tie and go to overtime.
That was like Dennis Rodman's whole game on the Bulls right back in the 90s. He was like the foul guy.
He was the rebound guy, but
yeah, but he would
you're
shoulder
kind of
check
daring the
someone
refs.
or fall down and shit.
You're daring the refs to call it in that scenario, and then the refs may or may not. But that's like that's an example of a game of chicken. I wish I could think of more, but whenever I think of them, I really like it, and I think the reason it's good is because it however long it takes me to explain the context, that's kind of like what's kind of fun about it. That there's actually a lot going on, even though almost nothing's happening. It's like a guy doing a layup, and then a defender may or may not foul him, but you're trying to explain what everyone's thinking and what they're all anticipating. Like a game of poker is like that too.
Poker's like chicken.
Yeah.
Kind of
It's-
is, yeah.
Yeah, when you're calling
How would you
bluffs.
use that in a storytelling context? Or did you just want to talk about chicken?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I have it a little bit in Percival, and it's the thing I like the most about Percival. It's with the Grail, where the Grail will abandon him if he breaks the rules, but the Grail itself will break its own rules sometimes. So he knows like it doesn't follow. It's not like a robot, so he kind of knows he can like fuck with it too. And if he follows it too closely, it doesn't like that either. So it will abandon him if he's like a simp for it, kind of. So he's constantly like playing chicken with the Grail basically. And there's one example where like he could, because the Grail obviously prefers if he like is super what do you call it if you never have sex,
Celibate?
Virgin?
yeah, or tryst, no, what do you call pure
Chaste.
chaste, yeah, chaste.
Jace.
And
Chaste.
in the
Chaste.
lore too, Percival is the most
Okay, British.
chaste of all the knights.
Chastity.
Yeah. But I have it in one. I want to do one episode where like he does kind of fall in love, and that's on the table. Sex is on the table, and he's like,
Celibate.
yeah, and he's like, well, I am not supposed to, but maybe we will partake.
Wait, because that's necessary for a loving relationship? That's kind of shallow.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I don't know, just the scenario where but I
Let's not
feel
get
like
into
it's
this discussion. Degenerates.
Let's talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Incel. Incelibate. Involuntarily celibate.
No, it means celibate, meaning very not celibate.
That's
right?
definitely
like
what it means,
inflammable
guys.
means flammable.
Inflammable.
Yeah.
So incels are inflammable, but with celibacy, meaning they have a lot of sex now.
Yeah, all the definitions.
Sorry, I've had
So
tequila.
You should drink more.
Drink more
This
tequila.
is definitely
My
helping
brain
you.
melted when you started talking about football.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
That's it. Jake's just gone from the show.
I like the Grail being a troll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impish.
Yeah. And it's kind of like early God is like how I'm, at least in my head, explaining it. It's like God has his own arc. Because that some of this is like sort of historical. Like he started, it was the, oh shoot, what were they called? The Moabites or something. But they had this pantheon. And then one of their gods, he was the god of thunder. That was Yahweh. And each city had their own god that they liked, but their god might not be the biggest god. The biggest god was like El Elyon, and but Yahweh was just this thunder god. But the Israelites, he was their guy, and so they're like, yeah, we know he's not the biggest god, but he's our guy, and we like him.
It's our
And-
guy.
Yeah, and then from that, Yahweh ends up becoming the one god or whatever. He like surpasses El Elyon. And there's like reasons why that happens too. But in my head, in at least some of this I still need to kind of think through. But it's like the whatever force is behind the Grail. It's still kind of mysterious, but it's like early Yahweh. So he's still like these other gods do exist still, and he's more. Yeah, he's kind of like he's not necessarily like the Old Testament God yet, but he kind of would become a little bit more like that towards the end of the story.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, one thing that this is not Game of Chicken, but with the Percival story, there's for the second story, I'm doing a fair amount of research on gold, and gold is like kind of tied to an information war with the gods. I think this is like a little bit true, but it's like kind of hard. It's like some of the gods that died were in places where gold was so common that they had so much of it they didn't think it was that cool, and then places that didn't have gold, they loved gold. And those gods, so they would like give it, and they're like, this is the best thing, who do we dedicate this to? And they're like, dedicate it to our god. So their gods got like represented in gold, and then those gods kind of like would live longer than the gods.
It's like a lobster, right?
What's that?
Lobster, it's this creature that lives in the ocean. They're like
Yeah, we know what
giant
lobsters
slugs.
are. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
back in the
shit.
day, lobster was so readily available, they would give it to prison inmates because they thought it was not good food.
Because
And
rarity determines
Now it's like
value.
expensive as hell because people
Yeah.
love lobster.
That's funny. Yeah, and that is kind of like, but I think it's kind of gold is a little bit tied to, like, whoever has the most gold can kind of win the hearts and minds of people to make their god the most popular. And the people who caught on to that early were the ones who kind of traditionally did better in that war.
EC says you're just ripping off Elden Ring.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
Well,
I don't know. That's what he says.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
actually don't know.
I think
yeah.
he's talking
Well,
about the lobster thing.
Oh,
lobsters
yeah.
In
are
Elden
cool.
Ring?
he says lobsters and gold are in
Yo, look,
Elden Ring.
Alex is here.
Hey, he made it. Hello.
Alex, what's up, buddy?
Heyo.
Hit that like button, everybody.
Yes, do that. Alex, you missed us talking about our weeks and how Phil is being converted into being more of a weeb. Narwhal is suffering more because of basketball, and Jake is burning in the sun
And you missed
You're being eaten by mosquitoes.
and being eaten by mosquitoes.
Alex, if you had any quotes, I think he might be using a ringer that he's pre-made, but
Don't tell
Hellboy saying "son of a" is the main quote.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Hellboy says "son of a" lot.
Yeah.
Son of
Oh yeah, nice. What's that guy's name with the cross?
Wolfwood, he's a priest.
Yeah.
He carries this cross that's also a gun called the Punisher. Fucking cool.
Did people
Also,
do the
Alex-
Wolfwood Luce crossover yet?
Nah, yeah, that would be dope. So Wolfwood kills, but he's a holy man priest, and Vash refuses to kill and is always trying to convert people and have them repent and save
Has
their
there ever
soul.
been a character who's they do kill, but they're holy in some ways, so everybody they choose to kill goes straight to heaven or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. I just thought of it.
He's
No, I'm
kidding.
kidding.
He's ready.
No, I don't
Phil,
know.
we're
That
gonna have a
sounds
talk after this.
good. That sounds dope. That sounds like an
That's a good
anime
idea.
thing, though.
I have good ideas sometimes. Probably has been done in anime.
That'd be
Like
cool.
with Kenny.
Like a holy gun that just sends you to heaven.
Yeah.
Alex, this show is going to be short too. Just FYI,
Wow.
a little bit shorter than usual.
Wait,
Not of
what if-
my doing either, but just
What if there's a time traveling priest that basically has a record of everyone who ever committed suicide, and he goes and appears and like kills them before they can kill themselves,
thereby saving
Therefore-
their soul.
therefore saving their soul. But
And everybody's like, why are you going around murdering people? Oh, that would be such a good idea. It would be like the ultimate misunderstood hero, kind of like how Berserk is. Not Berserk. The character's name is fucking Gus, I mean. Gus isn't misunderstood
Berserk
because
is his real
Berserk, yeah,
but
he's misunderstood because he seems so demonic and scary, even though he is ultimately he's an anti-hero, but he's not he's not Griffith.
you could draw that, Phil.
I know,
Yeah,
right? That's
you-
what my
you
girlfriend
definitely
told
draw
me. My
You
girlfriend
could draw
told me,
manga.
and I'm like,
Phil,
I can't.
just become a mangaka and
I
draw
can't
really
draw this.
badly. Yeah, but draw for like a million years,
And then
you'll
I could just
slowly
do, like-
morph the bad style into something really good.
I could just use skies for panels. That's just zip tone.
You just drop in a bunch of Clip Studio pre-made assets.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
People do it.
Like a real
you-
artist.
You could debigulate me now, Pear.
You've been debunkulated.
Thank you.
Debunkulated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alex, we also unanimously agreed that Luce is short for Lucifer, aka the Antichrist.
We definitely totally and
I do
unanimously
not. I do
agreed on
not
that.
agree with that. I rebuke that idea.
I
Me too.
agreed insofar as it was a very badly thought out name on the part of the Vatican. They should have thought about this.
Slash a good. Well, if they were going for that thing to get the people talking or whatever. Because the other thing is people don't even know how to pronounce it. Everyone's like arguing about that.
I
So
thought it
they
was
definitely got
Lucy.
people talking.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Okay.
pronounce it still.
Look at
People were saying in our chat, they're saying Luce is how you say it.
Oh, like it's
Luce.
Italian?
Yeah.
It's a luce.
Those
Hey,
Italians.
a Luce. A Luce.
Why don't they just go with Lucia or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why just go
Yeah, I
for
don't know.
Lucifer? Go
Okay, I have
back.
one other thing on this grab bag I want to talk about real fast. There's a director named Sean Baker. Have you guys heard of this guy?
No.
No.
Who dat?
I've heard of
He has-
Kyle Baker.
Yeah. Sean Baker, he has a new movie out called Honora. It won the Palme d'Or, and it's probably going to win Best Picture. It's in theaters right now. Have you guys heard of this?
What's it called? Namora?
Honora.
No. never heard of it.
Namor?
I'm glad he won a Palm d'Or. At least finally you have a door now.
Namor.
Yeah. So he's young-ish. He's one of the cool young filmmakers. I don't know if
Explain
he's
this film to
45.
me.
How cool and how
Honora,
young.
Honora is like Cinderella, but like way more realistic. It takes place in, I don't know if realistic's the right word. I think it kind of is. It's a New York subculture. There's a Russians in New York at a certain island, I think, part of New York City, and it's all Russian. And it's a stripper in a strip club meets
Ooh.
a son of an oligarch at the strip club, and they get married that night or whatever. And then so they kind of have this rollicking romance. But then somehow shit hits the fan, blah, 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 end of the movie.
Who's it? Is that Garfield kid in it?
I forget the guy, but the girl is Mikey Madison, and that's the other thing. She's become overnight a sensation. Everyone loves her, including me. She's great. But I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've just seen her in interviews. Except I do have a complaint. There's a lot of actors these days. In interviews, they're so polite and so regal, it's almost forced. And I don't like that. I like Timothy Chalamet in interviews. He's not so regal. He'll actually be a little bit more like chill with the interviewers, you know what I'm saying? But
No, this movie
Mikey
looks
Madison,
bad.
too regal. That's all I got to say about that. So anyway, this movie, oh yeah, so Sean Baker, I've been watching all his interviews, and all his movies are great, but they're all like they're I don't know if you'd say like artsy fartsy. They're like so good that some people might say they're boring or whatever. And then, but this one is not. This is the first he's made that's like very poppy and apparently very like mainstream, I guess. And of course, and it's become a sensation. But his workflow is pretty interesting. He says he'll only make a story if it has a great location that is tied to a subculture or a community. So it's like those three things. So he combines location, subculture, community. Then he researches that community, subculture, location for a year. And by that, he lives there, he interviews everyone. And that's his job for a year. He doesn't even write. He's just like interviewing people for a year. He could make a documentary at that point, but instead he makes a fiction film. And he'll recruit and meet non-actors, and he puts them in the movie. And then he'll sometimes bring in one or two real actors, and he writes the movie with them in mind. So he approaches them before even, and he did that with Mikey Madison. So then she does the same thing. She researches like sex work in Russia. She learns Russian because she has like a year to prepare. So she like learned Russian in a year, which is like insane.
Where do people get the money for this stuff?
Well, it's not as much as you'd think. Like, because you know, like in Hollywood, they got like $200 million budget. It's more of a time thing. It's like, yeah, he can take $50,000 and live for a year while he's researching, or like less, maybe, I don't know. But his movies have been traditionally in that 1 million. They started real low. You know, he was just a film student making movies, and they're all good. But they do feel like they kind of get better and better. But his movies, though, they have the level of authenticity is just like off the charts, kind of. And that was one thing I was wondering when I saw another of his movies, and then I saw. Well, he said one of his favorite movies ever. It is a documentary about Osaka, Japan host clubs. Do you guys know what those are?
Host and hostess clubs. They have it all over Japan.
Yeah.
And so there's like tea houses or something?
Kind of. It's
No.
like
You go hang out, and you have like a host come sit with you and hang out. Right?
They have
you
different
like pay a dude
types.
by the hour to like have drinks with you.
Oh,
A
it's like
girl will do
escort
They have
that.
both
club.
male and female versions, yeah.
Yeah.
Normal
and
only
then-
goes to the guy version.
Yeah, I got it.
But what's crazy is in Osaka, the host club, 80% of the dudes, what do you call it, when their clientele are prostitutes. Because the prostitutes are so lonely from their work that they have to pay for the emotional like healing from the host club. And it's like this vicious cycle. So there's this crazy documentary I saw. It's called
That
like
is
The
crazy,
Osaka
huh?
Love Thief. And Sean Baker in one of his interviews recommended that, and he said it's a huge inspiration. So I watched it, and it was mind blowing. But
Yet another perfect system from the Japanese.
Yes.
Keep the money moving.
Definitely not a broken society where people can rent friends and girlfriends and boyfriends.
You can
That's
rent a
to feel
whole
less lonely
family.
for-
You can rent a whole family.
You can rent like an older person to just walk around with you and give you elderly advice for a day. Like Japan is weird.
Can you imagine going to Japan and we rent a whole family and just go to KFC with them for Christmas?
Crazy.
That is wild.
it is crazy, and it's like, I don't know, it's like kind of like emotional. The documentary is too. You just think about these people,
Emotional.
how
Emotional
like it is. They're stuck
thing.
in this cycle. Like actually, there's a line in the documentary because they follow the main host guy, and he's like an interesting character. That's one thing that kind of ties into this. Is Sean Baker's movies, they have amazing characters. And there's a line, I forget who even said it, but they said, if you try and think of your favorite movies, you can't think of the plot as often. You think of the characters. Even with Star Wars, like, you know, we kind of know the plot of Star Wars, but you're just like Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader,
Jar
Princess
Jar
Leia.
Binks.
Yeah, well, even Jar Jar
Yeah,
Binks,
our favorite.
honestly, kind of has, he's in that loose way. He's Luce. He's kind of elevated
No.
slightly over the years. Although I don't know if I rewatched him, he might go back down.
So
But
we go to Japan and rent like a replacement panel member for one of us. They're just like, you could
That'd
you
be
do
awesome.
that? This is my brother.
That's what Bancroft is.
Yeah.
He's our replacement
Bancroft's our
replacement
Japanese
panel member
rented
when somebody's
family.
There's
missing.
host. Australian host.
He's
But-
a rent-a-host.
so there's a
Sorry, Bancroft.
R.I.P.
There-
Bancroft.
oh, is Bancroft in the chat? What's up, Bancroft? There's
No.
No,
Today is his funeral.
he's dead,
This
yeah.
is
This is the
yeah,
real-
he's
yeah,
not.
we-
He's no longer with us. It's
Oh,
a very sad
guillotine.
day.
Yeah, so but there's a line in the documentary about the host club following the main host guy, and he's talking and he's like, he kind of out of the blue, he's like talking and he goes, I actually get confused about what my real personality is, and then he like thinks about it some more and he's like, yeah, and then that speaking of that, that's like he kind of gets emotional when he realizes that. It's not like he starts crying, but it's like they're like stuck in like a little bit of a hell of sorts, you know, which you feel kind of sorry for him of, where they're like, whatever, this cycle of what he's doing, like lying 24/7, because that's
Right.
kind of what he has to do. He has to tell girls he loves them. They pay him.
You're wearing
for
that
kind of-
mask all the time.
That's
Yeah,
sad.
and yeah, so it's just so interesting though, and that's like, you know, getting out there in the world. That actually, I know that's like the one quick draw piece of advice a lot of writers give. Mark Miller does. If you ask him, he's said it in interviews. He says you should like make sure you live life so you have stuff to write about. And
Yeah.
and
Sure.
yeah, there's a few other people give advice like that. Someone said like you should get a part-time job, like if you're a writer, like you shouldn't like just write. Someone said that. With the authenticity too. One other example, another quote from, who's the guy who blew his own face off with a shotgun? Chat, you might know.
Van
He wrote-
Gogh.
He wrote Old Man in the Sea.
What?
Oh, you're
What's his
talking
name?
about
No.
actual right? I thought you were
Van
talking about
Gogh
an
blew his
artist.
face up with a
No,
shotgun.
his ear. I thought you were exaggerating. Never
Cut it
mind.
here. It's
There you
got,
go, Alex. Gotta put that one
I
in.
mean, he did shoot his ear off. Okay. So.
Kurt
He wrote To
Cobain.
Have and Have Not, maybe?
No.
No.
Van
Kurt
Gogh didn't
Cobain.
shoot his ear up. Right. Do you guys
No.
know the truth about Van Gogh's ear?
No.
Mike
Enlighten
Tyson.
us.
Okay, there was a bunch of kids that used to troll Van Gogh when he was growing up.
The sun
but Van
also
Gogh,
rises.
But Van Gogh was like super cool about it. And I think one day one of those kids was messing around with a gun. They might have been an adult at the time. But I think there was some kids messing around with a gun and they shot his ear by accident. And then he basically covered for the kid by saying he cut it off.
What?
Okay.
Yeah,
didn't
the
know
true story of
that.
Van Gogh's ear. Let me have a look it up. He was
Oh, yeah. I
covering
believe
for
it. I
trolls.
think I did hear about that somehow.
This sounds
Okay.
like some
Movie.
documentary like Paul McCartney is dead, which I've
Yeah,
watched.
it is. It's a conspiracy.
It's a
It's okay
conspiracy.
though.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's Hemingway. Well, so Hemingway's quote, he talks about the iceberg theory for writing. Have you guys heard of this?
Hemingway's
this is one-
iceberg theory.
Yeah, you can
Hemingway.
find YouTube videos about this. And I recommend everyone watch a 10-minute video on Hemingway's iceberg theory. It's like we all kind of know it, but it's pretty awesome. But what he talks about is the research that you do and the things you know about your story. That's the iceberg, and then your actual story of what you write, that's what's above water, which is like 10%. So
That's
he says
true.
for every 10% you write, you should know 90% more what's going on. That's what happens with Sean Baker's, when he spends a year researching
Yeah.
in a location with a subculture community. Not all of that goes into the movie. He's keeping just the best stuff of what he needs or whatever.
Well, that's that's what world building is, right? Even if it doesn't, how do you say it, show on the page, or you're not explicitly, that's the word, just writing it on the page or drawing it in the comic, it's subconscious, and I do think there's a sort of subconscious believability to your work, and the reader can intuit whether the writer knows that a world exists outside of the immediate surface level happenings in a story. So that's what the research and the real life experience will go towards,
Also,
that immersion.
with that whole 90%, that 90% is going to be different per viewer, because the beauty of leaving stuff out and just giving them some elements to combine means that like the viewer is going to combine them in the way that's most interesting and like perfectly tailored to them.
Yeah.
Which will be
Like
way more-
Luce.
Yeah, like you give them the chance to fill in the lore, but you give them elements that kind of like are really good puzzle pieces for them to draw the red threads between. So yeah, your aim isn't to put the red threads on the board; it's to have and put enough elements on the board for each viewer to be able to put their most interesting threads up.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
So with that, a little spin on this too. There's a John Ford quote, and I've been saying this, so I might have said this even last week, but he says everything that happens in movies that is good happens by accident, and so that is authentic. What he's talking about is quote unquote authenticity, I think, and the way Sean Baker does it, it's a collaborative process because it involves the research. Like he has to talk to like hundreds of people, so in that aspect, it's collaborative. And that's what one thing I'm curious about. I could like ask you guys, we could brainstorm is like, how do you bring that sense of collaborative authenticity to comics? And you know, at the lowest level, you can do it kind of with yourself if you just really try hard to make sure you're keeping yourself honest. Then you can kind of like improv with yourself. You know, like that's kind of what writing is anyway. Getting characters talking in you know, that's kind of what Tarantino does. It's not like you need someone to come in to spitball with you, but there is like the way that like accidents come up when you add like more research. It always gives that authentic feel, and it always feels fun. And that iceberg thing too, it feels so good when if you're reading a story, kind of what Jake was saying, and you get the feeling that they know so much, but they're kind of just teasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that like having someone, either an editor or someone that's close to you to even before your stuff gets to that editor, to brainstorm or have a discourse, have a conversation about your ideas, like, and then extrapolate from that, creating the thing, and then having an editor to go back and forth with is really important.
That is important.
And
Honestly,
someone too
having-
that
go ahead,
that like
sorry.
knows the vision and scope of things and where things are going. Like that really helps too.
Yeah, having a team or just creative friends and knowing other writers or artists too. And this goes whether you're a writer or an artist, but if you're an artist, having artist friends that will give you honest feedback on your drawing, and as a writer, having people who understand writing or people who will not just read what you write and just say, oh, that was nice, which a lot of people do. You need people who will actively give you feedback, but also know you well enough to understand your vision. So basically just echoing what Phil said, but that's a step beyond just having a good editor though, which is really important. I think most good stories have basically whole teams behind them and advisors that aren't even really on the team and aren't really editors, but it's just people surrounding a writer that gives good feedback, because that's what you need, different perspectives reflecting the writer's vision to solidify it. I would view it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one way is just kind of working with editors, getting feedback kind of as you're writing it. Another way is to have a co-writer, but not that we have to do that, but someone that comes up. Actually, Phil, you've done a little co-writing in your career. How's that been? Is that what your book right now, was that straight up co-written, or did you write it?
It was an interesting process because Adam Lawson basically gave me the reins on writing the script. We worked out the plot together, and then I went away, wrote the script, and then I sent it to him, and he basically acted as the editor for it. We go back and forth on dialogue and stuff. So it was kind of a both ways. It was a little bit of co-writing, but also he was more so editing things with me. But yeah, the way I work, like when I have ideas, I have people that are really close to me that I'll bounce ideas off of, whether it be my brother, my girlfriend, other writer buddies, and just I love being in those worlds so much. Like I kind of feel like maybe sometimes I'm annoying with like, oh, check out this new idea or this new page of art and stuff, but hopefully people like that, because I love seeing art and story, hearing story ideas as well. Like it
Yeah.
pumps me up.
Yeah, you got to have your friends that are like that, because we can have like real friends that we grew up with that sometimes
Sure.
that doesn't work with them. They're like, dude, let's just shoot hoops or let's smoke
Right,
pot, play
yeah,
video
yeah.
games. What are you talking
For
about?
sure. Yeah, like my best friend who I've known since preschool, like I never talked to him about comics or anything. And maybe I'll be like, hey, check out this new cool cover. And he's like, oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Jake, what about your collaborative experience with the video game with the programmer?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Open those wounds up.
No.
yeah, let's open that up. No, the program was great. Rach was awesome. No, I loved being able to. I would usually come up with stupid ideas like names for the characters, and then the reaction on other people's faces of like how labored that pun was. Like the more they were like forlorn by my suggestion, I was like, it has to happen. Piceratops, really? Math, like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
The more
math.
pained they look, the more insistent you'd be that it would happen. Is that how it works?
Yeah, when I thought of math moth, I'm like, that's perfect. That has to happen. It's a moth that teaches math. Get it?
Oh.
But yeah, what truth paste? The
Oh,
truth telling toothpaste, and he's a truth teller guy, and he has like the toothpaste tube as a turban. Oh, it was so good. There was only really a bit of collaboration. I've never really collaborated fully. Like on Holofist, it was more about the designs of things, and I like that. I like doing a design and then throwing it to a much better artist, and then they do a pass. Like that's always fun. But yeah, I've never had the chance to fully collaborate on a story, and I kind of am wondering if that always has to be like someone who it's their project that someone else is helping with. Like there's someone who still owns it. It's not fully collaborative. Basically, have you guys found in your collaborative efforts that there's always one person who's taking ownership, like a 51%? Like if a call had to be made, they would be the one making it or not.
I think that's important personally. I think it depends on the personalities. I think some people on both personalities in or however many are involved, because some people would have strengths that complement really well with each other and they would also be aware of it. But sometimes, I think most of the time, having one person taking lead is kind of like pilot co-pilot situation. Both people are necessary, but when push comes to shove, one person makes the final call. I think that's a much better system most of the time.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like what we're doing with Psycho Slumber, it's pretty much split, even though I had like more of the writing duties on it. But I've worked with people in the past where like when I did CG Vacation, I was borrowing a bunch of people's characters for that and got the okay from all of them, and that was like a very unique situation as well. Yeah, I feel like if you're able to work with people well and your communication is super important. I mean, it's anything in the creative field, especially if we're working with other people and other creators, communication is key, because I've worked with artists that really suck at communication and it makes the process a drag, and will put more strain on the partnership or the work, deadlines and stuff like that. But everyone's just a person by person basis, and especially if you're acting like as an art director or project manager, you have to feel out each person's personality and adapt to how you communicate with them and how well they communicate with you. So it's all over the place.
Yeah. And I agree too. I think usually you just have like a head writer or whatever. If you think of it as a writer's room, like even South Park, like it's actually Trey Parker. Like Matt Stone is not
Yeah.
it's not 50-50. Like Trey Parker is the main guy.
Yeah,
and they
that
both
that
know
would be even more interesting, like writers' room stuff, like that stuff that I've never experienced and probably won't. But that would be interesting to talk to someone like maybe Adam Lawson's experience with that, because I know he's worked on TV shows and stuff at Netflix. I know that in screenwriting entails a lot of writer room talk. Like, it's hard to wrap my head around that, because there's there like a lead writer, and then are people's ideas just getting shot down? Is it just like throwing spaghetti at the wall? Like,
Yeah,
it would be so
I've just
interesting to
seen
see how that
the
works.
scenes because there's some South Park documentaries and it is useful. And then some of the episodes of Louis with Louis C.K. He does writers' room episodes, and he'll kind of spoof it. Like, do you guys remember that one? Like where they're all going around the table and they're like, "All right, let's start doing a script read through, see if we can punch up these jokes." And they're like, "Interior day, the alarm clock goes off. Jerry fumbles for it and turns it off with his hand," something like that. Which is that's already an in joke because that's the worst beginning ever for a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they're like, well, they're all like spitballing ideas, and I forget what some of the ideas are. But then Louis C.K. gets to him, and he's like, "What if the dog does it?" They're like, "What?" He's like, "The dog turns the alarm clock off." They're like, "What do you mean?" He goes like, he takes his paw and he goes, "Poof," and he hits it. And so that was like funny though. Like that's so. This is one. So this is. I don't know if this is a changing the subject slightly, but talking about authenticity, we're sort of talking about ways you can bring it in. If it's great editors, collaborations, maybe just preparedness from lots of world building, and then like there's like a way of kind of just like getting in the zone for writing. But if you're actually like improving with yourself as the characters, you're just writing. But if you're really in the zone, that can bring out some authenticity. But I kind of think there might be words for it, but I'm not sure what the word would be. But there should be a word for something that happens in a story that is not a cliche. It's like the opposite of a cliche. It's like very original, but it still makes perfect sense, and people kind of like really like it because and the dog doing that, it kind of makes no sense, but that's very original. Like that was what was funny about it. And yeah, because you'll think of those ideas as you're writing, and what's the word? Sometimes people will say quirky. Like if you do too much of that, it's just like quirky.
Well, I was speaking of quirky. I was talking to a writer buddy of mine this week about a book, and the word quirks came up a lot. And he was saying, like, characters that have quirks, it's important for them to have quirks, even side characters, because those quirks are like lightning rods for your memory. They, as a reader, you'll latch on to the weird thing about the character that makes those characters memorable. And usually like the quirks will be some sort of deficiency that the character has, whether it be, a neurotic thing that they do, they're obsessed about clipping their fingernails or biting their nails or something like that. Like those things can really stick out and punch up a character. I see a guy in his room saying character flaws. I'm not specifically talking about character flaws, but aesthetically something that is superficial about the character that sticks the character into your mind. And we were talking, and the language he used was a quirk about the character, and then those could really go a long way. And he was specifically saying, like, you look at like a Tarantino film, a lot of his characters have quirks like that.
I was thinking that as you're saying it. The one that came up was it's Butch and his grandfather's watch. Like he's obsessed with his grandfather's watch, and then the girl forgets it at the house, so he has to go back for it. Like that stuff. That and Pulp Fiction is one that taps into. It has a super authentic feel, but it's not like he hung out in LA for a year interviewing people, to write that one. He pulled that authenticity just straight out from his brain or whatever. But another thing with the quirkiness, there's a random movie I watched. I forget what it's even called. I didn't finish it. It was on YouTube, but it was like a homeless guy running around doing all this crazy stuff. It was kind of fun. It was like almost like a cartoon, but some people like want money from him, so he's running away from them. He hides in a garbage truck, but then it starts to crunch its garbage, so he crawls out to the last second, and then like they kind of corner him, but then a fire escape drops down because a fire has started in that building, like kind of randomly. So he crawls up it into the burning building, and he jumps in a window, and in the window there's like a guy and a girl are like starting to hook up, and they get startled, and then he's like, "There's a fire," and they're like, "Oh shit!" and they like run out, and like so that if you have that moment of like the world, you know, so if you jump in a random window. And sure, like maybe it's almost cliche. Oh, there's two people hooking up in there, but jumping in a random window and you're like all of a sudden you're just like in a room, and there can be so many authentic details that you don't necessarily need to you don't need to interview people to get those, but you can. That's an opportunity to add a lot of quirkiness, and that whole section felt quirky. It was really fun, I thought.
Yeah, I think speaking of especially character tics is what I think about. I've started to notice that in stories that I find have really good immersion. So, I'm watching so much anime, it's all blending together. But it's like stuff like, oh, the character just like picks their ear a lot, or they have a, like you were saying, Hellboy will say son of a, all those, I can't think of the English word, Chinese is koto-san. Everyone has that. They have things that they say over and over again.
Yeah.
And when you're going to make fun of a friend, what are the things that you'll say that your friend they always have that one-liner, and we all know normal people have these behaviors. So if you add it into your story, that creates immersion. Just don't overdo it,
sure.
because then it becomes too quirky and not serious.
Yeah, it's funny, their quirkiness, there is a balance, because you can at least I can kind of think in my head of a certain level of quirkiness makes me roll my eyes, like maybe like a parody of Wes Anderson, because his stuff is still pretty good, honestly. But if you think of like that kind of quirkiness, like here, I'm a hipster, my pants go up high, you can see my socks, and I listen to music, and I'm so quirky.
Well, there are things that people do that are probably outside of what would be considered expected or societal norm. Like, there is no person that is 100% just they're very normal. They don't have any quirks. They say what
Except
you
for me.
expect. They say everything. Yeah, Phil definitely doesn't have any quirks at all.
Very normal.
Most people will have a little things that are their own individual personality that shows through. So that's what you're trying to capture. But if it's too forced, you come across like you're 14 and you have no personality, but you're just trying to force a personality, and you're like, ooh, look how special I am.
Yeah. You know what else is weird about this is when you're talking quirkiness, it's like Friends, the TV show, it has quirkiness to it, and maybe in some ways you could say it has some authenticity, but maybe not. I don't know. But if you compare it to, and it's great, I love Friends, but if you compare it to Sean Baker's movies, or like some of this other stuff we're talking about, where it's like almost like a documentary, like just a true cinema, like great movie of like the real human heart, psychology, brain, novel, whatever. They're just so different. They're like complete opposites, and they're both good, and they can both be quirky. But I think that would be one where, like, I don't know, like Friends, I would never use the word authentic with Friends, but maybe it has some of that. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, like you're saying, Irene, like you need the balance of it so it doesn't seem overdone. Like the extreme quirky character that stands out is like that kind of like 90s sitcom character that they throw in 4 seasons in, you know, like Poochie the rock rapping dog from The Simpsons, where he's just like too cool and he's got all the catchphrases. He wears the baseball cap backwards, wears the sunglasses, you know, or like you know they'll bring in the long lost cousin that no one ever talked about just to try to get ratings up on a old school sitcom. Like that is that's too quirky, you know. And you could play around with that in like a meta style if you're going for that. People definitely have, but it gets tiring, you know. It's like, oh yeah, we know this guy, he's created, he seems like he's a created character.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, you're very special. Yes, okay, you're special.
Like Louis.
Yeah,
Yes.
so even quirky, quirky can
Is
feel
this the meme?
created.
What is
you're
happening?
You can go like if you copy it, you can go create new from clipboard.
You gotta
and,
read Alex's super chat.
Yeah. So he says,
gonna
okay, I
hit
posted
that
my tweet,
like.
mostly canned pre-made meme I had lying around. I drank too much. I'm going to regret my decisions tomorrow.
Oh
No, you
no!
didn't drink
I hope
enough.
you
You
had
didn't drink
fun
enough,
out.
Alex.
Well, thank you for being here anyways,
Yeah, he got
Alex.
loose in there.
Oh, it's loose.
Canned meme.
That's great.
Smashing TVs.
This is straight out of Office Space.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
nice.
great.
Son of a. Oh, dude, look at how cool Hellboy Napoleon looks.
Yeah, look at Darth Maul up there.
That is
Which
so-
we didn't even mention Darth Maul once.
Oh, that's
That's
me on
great.
Halloween. That's so good.
This is like
Halloween
a little
film.
creepy, like Luce coming into your computer smiling. Err.
Scared of the devil there, or the devil scared of her. Scaredy cat devil.
Yeah.
Luce is coming to get you.
Canned meme. I love that.
I like how straight Phil's tie is.
I'm straight.
It's like a
laced guy.
lead. That's a lead tie, just hanging down.
I like how short my hair is. I should go back.
I like how I look like my head is disjointed from my body and I'm some kind of Japanese ghost.
You do look like a ring,
Yeah.
the ring girl coming out.
You look
of the
like
Yeah.
I can hear. You know they say images that you can hear or something. I can hear this one. It's like oh.
Hey, that's not what it sounds like. Slightly higher pitch.
Yeah.
I should lose tons of weight and cut my hair off.
and wear ties.
And wear ties. Shit's
Yeah.
a tie. Dress like a Chainsaw Man
Things
character.
that are not gonna happen.
A blank
Does look like a
chainsaw.
Chainsaw Man character. Great meme, Alex.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex.
This is our world of chainsaw. This is our Chainsaw Man. This is creative
We're
vlog.
killing the television demon.
Yeah, that's the television demon, and Trump is our boss.
Do they have
Nice.
a TV demon in Chainsaw Man? Why do they have a TV demon?
We're
I don't know,
baseball
maybe-
boys.
Not
That's
that
what
I
we
not
are.
that I know of that hasn't showed
Why
up.
do they have a dark web
You
demon?
should
Because people
write
are scared of
to
the dark
the
web.
creator and be like, why did you do that? And wait, Hellboy, Napoleon Hellboy is the demon that we're contracted with.
Yep.
Hellboy's cool.
Let's look at Rini, your and Phil's books before we get out of here, and then we'll.
My non-existent current campaign.
Wait,
You got your
show them
website.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
steps.
The old website.
The old web. Hey, we got
There's
a backer.
nothing exists here. Okay, Jake wants me to show you guys the Hold on.
Oh, you're gone.
Oh fuck! I need to undo my camera.
It's the Eclipse behind you.
What's
Yeah.
going on?
No, my background is.
She's trying to show a drawing.
I
Make
guess
her
I have to
full
turn it
screen.
off. There we go.
And
Can I do that? Is it gonna blur it?
Oh no!
Okay. There you go. You can't really see anything. You can see the beginnings of boobage.
Is it a butt?
I am starting to ink. This is the Fiendish 3 first Fiendish 3 cover, and I'm starting to ink it.
forever cover.
Hell yeah!
Campaign
Nice.
cover. So work is progressing, albeit late and slowly. But listen, I don't have a campaign, and I haven't promised a delivery date, so everything's fine.
Go sign up for Finish 3.
Yes, fiendishcomic.com. Everybody go sign up.
Yeah, sign ups
Now.
on the website. Go over there, guys.
Mhm.
That's gonna be dope.
Dope.
And then we
Back
did
in
get
the
a
feet.
backer, 141 backers, Psycho Slumber. It's in demand now, so you guys could still back it. I'm working on getting a variant cover, which is going to be freaking sweet. So that will be thrown up here, hopefully in a few weeks. And we're going to try to do a Kickstarter as well on this bad boy. Adam's going to be running that, so I'm actually super excited about that. Colors are coming in. We just got the Indiegogo payout, which is awesome. So we're able to get more colors in. So that's going well. And then I'm going to be starting lettering this up very soon here. You guys could still grab some sketch cards on the campaign, as well as any of the previous Lost Pages and Kill Journal material here, and the awesome Psycho Slumber shirts, which will only be on Indiegogo. It's not gonna be on any other crowdfunders, so go grab this. Oh yeah, and Ellie says award nominated. So the awards are Saturday. Psycho Slumber was nominated for anticipated book, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much. I think Irene's Fiendish 2.5 was nominated for Book of the Year. No, is that right?
I don't think so. I know that Jake
Oh.
was nominated as best colorist
That's
for
right.
Fiendish 2.5. So
Colorist?
you can vicariously reward my book by voting for Jake, and then vicariously reward me by voting for my cover on Jake's book. Thanks.
Yes, and Lost Pages 3 for Book of the Year, guys. You guys could go grab that.
Hell yeah! Definitely go.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you guys. And more comic stuff, man. I'm
Someone
so
asked
excited
me.
to work on shit.
Sorry to cut you off. Somebody wondered if I was in a storage shed. Yes, I am currently in a South American storage shed.
You're being shipped
You're
right
getting
now.
shipped. You're getting trafficked.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Traffic.
God damn.
You're going straight to
Let's not jinx
Epstein's
that.
Island.
Oh fuck that! No, they don't want me there. Way
You're,
too much
you're
fucking
going as a
trouble.
client, not as a abused.
No! Ew! Absolutely fucking not.
You're going to one of
Fuck that
P. Diddy's
shit.
white parties.
This is a lot of
In jail.
projection coming from
This is some
normal
hardcore
guys.
negging right now.
Yeah, this is some hardcore projection. I think you can speak for yourself, Mr. Pear.
Oh wait, I got another image before we leave here. Or are we doing second half, or are we just leaving? Look at this.
Oh, it's so good. The meme
Lu-
circle is complete.
Loose dang.
It's holy. It's a holy image.
It's loose
This
dang.
is the best. Can someone make me a figurine or a plushie of this?
Really
If that
close
exists,
people.
I will pay whatever they want for it. I need this. That's adorable. This is like meme of the year, 2024 summarized.
Oh,
All
and
that
I-
is missing is a bright blonde Trump hair thing to complete the year.
That thing looks evil. It
the,
should die.
the curl coming down.
How
There-
dare
I-
you?
I hear there's going to be a meme award ceremony. And I think my Death of Narwhal video is up for meme of the year.
Oh,
on
cool.
that. So I think Lord Raptor
Okay.
Jesus is doing.
Oh, it was about a year
meme
ago that
award.
I passed away. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Rip.
Rip Narwhal.
And then
Go-
Phil passed
go
away.
Yeah,
We've all had our funeral. Have we all had our
Now
funerals
Bancroft.
on this show?
passed away.
Bancroft
Yeah.
had one before me.
No,
Everyone
Jake's
but
next.
Jake.
Yeah,
Jake, you're next.
I would prefer not to be next.
Jake's
happening.
smart.
He's played this very smart.
He's got that. What is that?
Go
Is it?
vote for me for new creator or whatever, and then
Yes.
maybe we can have a funeral
Oh,
for
yeah,
me
then you'll
sometime
die.
after winning that.
You'll,
Make
You're
sure
not
he wins.
allowed.
Make sure he wins
you'll
best
fly
new
too close
creator.
to the sun. You get clipped by.
We can't have fun, guys. Don't you know? We can't just have fun here.
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
It's not allowed.
The jokes. They
But
hurt.
yeah, they do hurt. We don't have a sense of humor, as you can see. Definitely don't. But yeah, go vote for us in the Nobody Give a Damn Awards, and thank you to people who did nominate us and to
Oh,
the
yeah. Awesome.
hosts.
Awesome.
So
Appreciate
that's
that.
really
Very
cool.
happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And thank
I'm
you to
very
the
surprised
guys-
that I got nominated for
Sorry.
anything because I'm not really around anymore. But yeah, thanks. Continue.
Yeah, it was
Can only
awesome.
be
Thank
new creator
you
once.
to the chat and like everybody, Vaughn and Vanessa and Amanda, Stato, Eric, for hosting that stuff. It's so cool.
Yes,
It's fun.
you guys are great.
Cool. So I think we're
It's
kind of
about
going to wrap up here. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
short and
it's
sweet.
late.
For us, 2 hours. Kind of no real second half. The first half was second half-ish. Had shades of the second half within the first half, you might say. And
Yeah, it's kind of late. I can't stay that late today anyway, so gotta go.
yeah, we were talking about kind of ways to inject a little authenticity. We could talk more about that because I'm definitely obsessed.
Yeah,
with
it's a
that
big
right now,
topic.
Oh, being
Yeah.
authentic.
but yeah, and
I mean, yeah. No, go on.
those, and it's like we did get a little somewhere with it because we're kind of at that point of, yeah, you can put quirky stuff in your script and it is like charming. Like I do love scripts that have
For sure.
quirky stuff in them, but that doesn't necessarily. First, you can do too much of it, and it almost is like it doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's going to work if you do that. But
Yeah, there's like an authentic way of being quirky. Otherwise, it falls into like Whedon-esque stuff, or you know what, we play Cards Against Humanity, right? And like a lot of that is there's a lot of early 2000s American humor in that, right? That's like quirky for the time. Yeah, maybe it maybe the human genome pools into various quirkiness like tropes. And you just so you've got to try and be quirky, but you got to be your own quirky instead of trying to think of appealing to an umbrella of quirky, like rainbows and like barfing rainbows and unicorn kittens and ham cheeseburgers in like
because
the
then you're a
2000s.
poser.
Well, I think something that you just said makes a lot of sense. So, most people who have quirks, it's not forced. Because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was awkward as fuck when I was like 14, and that was definitely the stage in most people's personalities when you're trying to figure out your personality, but you don't have much of one yet because you don't have life experience, and there's a lot of, well, copying what's around you and forcing behaviors that you see online, but as you get older, these things become more organic because they're derived from your personality. So I think a good way to tell whether the quirks you're giving a character are authentic or not is they're derived from, there's a reason for it, and it's derived from their personality. For example, Casimir tells me to shut up all the time. It's not just because I want to give him a quirk, it's because it's part of his personality. He's withdrawn. He has a reason to tell people to shut up because he's very practical and doesn't like listening to people talk. He likes being alone, and so on and so forth. And if it makes sense with everything else you've built, then that's more authentic.
Yeah. At that point, it's like out of your hands a little bit. It's like you couldn't write something else because that's what he would say. You're like, this. I already know what he's gonna say. So
don't try and write to appeal to an idea you don't fully understand. I think that can be how you get Whedon-esque humor. Like, you don't fully understand it, but you're trying to grab that bird as it flies away kind of thing. Or a lot of people are inauthentic out of fear. Like, it's not even being cringe. Like, some people can be the kind of type that's like, everything sucks and I'm so cool. But it's because they're scared of saying what they actually think or even exposing themselves as not a stoic badass.
Jake waited for the end to get super philosophical.
No, it's knowledge bomb.
Well, because
there.
we talked about an actual topic, and I'm like,
What
wait
have
a
you been
minute.
drinking? Like, whatever level of drunkenness you are right now, this is your
The tequila finally kicked
Stay
in.
this way.
Yeah, don't write out of fear. Don't write to appeal to an idea you don't understand. Just be you, and we'll figure out who you are first. I don't know. Some people can be overly edgy because they think that means they're a badass too. And it's
Do
like,
your shadow
no.
work. Do your shadow
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, don't get me started on
Do
that.
Jungian
Let's go
shadow
back and talk
work.
about shadow. I mean, so one thing that a professor in art school said that stuck with me was the question arose in class how to become a good writer / a good creator, and his answer was basically, first of all, you're not going to know what you're doing before you're 30. And I was very irked by that because I was like, I'm a good artist. I'm going to definitely know what I'm doing before I'm 30. I'll be like the youngest genius comic creator in the world. No, I have no fucking idea what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. And he followed that up by saying, you become a good creator by basically having a life. If you coop yourself up and don't go out and just write a lot and read a lot, which is important because especially reading is life experience. You live through other people's eyes when you read, but also having those experiences for yourself, that is understanding being human, and having those and injecting them into your work is important. Jake wants to say something. Go ahead.
You just made me realize why men are proper writers.
Why what?
Why men are the real writers.
Well, men are the real writers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
By
men
your
are the real
logic,
writers.
by your logic, if men are the risk takers, therefore
They
the
are,
people who
though.
go out and claim the most experience, they
if
therefore
that
have more
is-
to write about.
If that is
So
a
on
tendency,
average-
it's not because of, again, it's not about aptitude, it's about effort. and being willing to go take those risks and go live a life and experience new things. If you're not willing to do that and not willing to force yourself out of your comfort zone, then you're just not going to have that wealth of experience. Why was Tolkien such a good writer? Why was he able to write relationships in warfare so well? Because he went to war.
Neat.
So we all gotta go
see
to
you next
war.
week, everyone.
Okay, yeah, have a good night, everybody.
I think it has to be on my channel next week, but I don't know if I can host. I'm not home yet. So I could try and host.
Yeah.
I could probably do one of these, right?
Yeah.
One of
I think
these.
that's, yeah,
Sure.
you
Okay.
have your computer with you.
Your
Real
connection
quick, too,
here is
Colonel
better
DeVar,
than.
Everyone just remember this. Know that this exists. We won't spend too much time pitching it, but just know.
Back
No.
carnal.
Yeah,
Yes.
good. We okay. People, though, I did have a message for someone who was trying to back tonight, and their money wasn't going through, and I fully believe them. So yeah, hopefully we can reach 69 soon. It'll be very fun, and we can unlock another stretch goal at 6,000. You guys will be able to get another
Let's hit it
free
next
trading
week.
card.
Jake will drink more tequila next week, and Rini will drink more South American beer. We'll get to
Yeah.
69.
Yeah, let's do it.
do
Let's
it.
69 it next week.
Yeah,
Check
go
this
back
book,
and
everyone.
spread the word about
Nazi
it. as well.
beer.
My
They call
cover.
that Nazi beer. Do you know that, Rini?
Oh no, I betrayed my ancestors. Whatever shall I do? I must commit penance.
Okay.
Back my cover. Also back my cover. Thanks.
I actually,
Get that pin.
I'll get out. I'll take us out with a little video.
Bye.
Bye.